When we went to America, there was a discussion, Swamiji, here for people to make donations, they have to be called gold, silver, platinum, jubilee, copper, etc. And we should charge. No, we always say, no, we don't like to. Let us create a tradition of not charging for anything. Let us conduct the programs. You know, a few salaried people are taking us. They don't have big money, but nevertheless they have been managing it. All youngsters getting their salary. But so far we have held on to this. I think this knowledge is not to be given under a charge. But I don't know whether we also will be forced to be corrupt ourselves. Because when we offer it freely, people don't value it. So we have to put a big stamp over it. Everybody is saying, whenever a course is announced, register it. What is the registration fee? The course is useless. So this is the position.
Drishyam pratītam pravilāpayan san. Drishyam pratītam pravilāpayan san. Sanmatramananda ghanam vibhavayan. Sanmatramananda ghanam vibhavayan. Samahitassan bahirantaram va. Samahitassan bahirantaram va. Kalam nayetha sati karma bandhe. Kalam nayetha sati karma bandhe.
I spoke about how the whole objective universe is nothing but a flotation or a floating on the consciousness. Did I know? Yeah. See, we have the Panchabhutas. These Panchabhutas are on the one hand matter and on the other side energy. The matter itself will be, if you analyze it, you will find three forms of substances are there: solid, fluid and gaseous. Matter is over. Now we have fire, which generally represents heat and light. Generally it represents all types of energy. Then we have the ground for all these four in the way of the indescribable space. These are the Panchabhutas. There is only one factor besides these Panchabhutas, and that is the power and the presence that animate the body and activate the body. That is what you call, in Sanskrit we call it Chaitanya or Chetana. Another word is Prajna. Another word is Chit. You can call it consciousness, sentience, the power or the presence that causes animation. When material and energial items are together and they are shuffled, the moment they get animated, they become a living being. That power that animates, that presence that animates, that is called sentience or consciousness. These are the only items available in the whole creation. And the Panchabhutas are far stretched out. They are away from you throughout the universe. But so far as the consciousness and the power of animation are concerned, they are available and accessible only in oneself. How many times shall I say this? You can feel the presence of the sixth factor only in yourself. You cannot feel it in another person. That is the one which causes what? Wakeful state, dream state and sleep. It causes all the three and it transits from one to the other. So it has got its independence. That is why it is called the fourth factor. Fourth factor. We call it Turiya and Chadurtha. Turiya and Chadurtha both refer to the fourth factor. This fourth is not a reference in sequence, first, second, third and fourth. It's not. 1, 2, 3 and different from the three, the fourth. I don't know. Can I not expect at least a small group like you to understand this factor? So you are living in a modern era. There are people who believe in God, who do not believe in God. Both of them are equally animate and sentient. To say I believe in God, you require the mouth, you require the mind. To say I do not believe in God, also you require the mouth and the mind. And in both of them, the premise, the same factor. The people who say I do not believe in God, they don't know what God is. Of course, the people who say I believe in God, they also don't know. So the best will be that you understand Ego Devaha Sarvabhuteshu Gudhaha Sarvavyapi Sarvabhutantaratma Sarvavyapi Sarvabhutantaratma Karmadhyakshaha Sarvabhutadhivasaha Sakshi Cheda Kevalo Nirgunascha. This is from Shvetashvatara Upanishad. Ego Devaha. Ego Devaha. Say that. Ego Devaha. Ego Devaha. Ego Devaha. God is only one. And that God is described in different ways. And in the last line he says, Sakshi. Sakshi. Cheta. Cheta. Sakshi means the witness. When something takes place around you, are you not witnessing them? Yes. Are you not witnessing your body? Yes. Are you not hearing your speech? Yes. Can you not smell your hand? Yes. Now, for all these processes, who or what is the witness? That is always inside. Similarly, when there is a thought, you witness it. So it is a witness of external gross items as well as internal subtle items. So that witness is the Deva. Cheda, to go a further step, it is in the nature of consciousness. What is consciousness? Consciousness is that presence by virtue of which one becomes conscious of everything. What? Consciousness is that presence by virtue of which one becomes conscious of everything. In that everything, two items are included. Things which are in the nature of objects. Those also external and internal. External objects are Panchabhutas and items made up of these. Internal objects are thought, emotion, knowledge, doubt, inquiry, ego, intelligence, etc. So all these things are equally witnessed by you, and it is in the nature of consciousness. Consciousness is that presence by virtue of which you become conscious of other things as well as yourself. You know that I am. What is the proof for I am? Somebody tells you that you are, or you know I am. If there is a knowledge which we don't have to be told or injected by others, it is I am knowledge. All other things we have to learn. But I am need not be taught. There is nobody in this world who does not have the I am knowledge. And that is actually God. So should you not go and tom-tom to everybody that there is nobody in this world who cannot believe in God? समझते हैं क्या? Why don't you go and tell all people? अरे भगवान पर मैं विश्वास करता हूँ, तुम जानते नहीं भगवान कौन है? सोच लो, ego देवः साक्षी चेता. God is only consciousness, only consciousness, only consciousness. Sakshi cheta kevalo nirgunascha. It is Kevalaha, only one. Already he has mentioned Ekaha Deva. So let us be very, very clear. The whole creation consists of Panchabhutas, matter and energy. And besides matter and energy, there is only one presence, consciousness. Why are you getting confused? We have so many lists. When I am explaining Uddhava Gita in the telecast, Sri Krishna says, there are many people who hold different opinions. Altogether 1, altogether 2, altogether 3, altogether 4, altogether 5, altogether 6. And he says that Any number of items can be listed. It all depends upon the intelligence of a person and how he is able to argue out what he presents. That's all. So you can make any kind of a presentation. How many are there? 21. How many are there? 108. How many are there? 10,003. Provided you can justify what you said and your purpose is fulfilled, this presentation is acceptable. But in reality, nothing is there. Only the one that reveals as nothing and many things alone is there. Now, for the 2 days I have been trying to emphasize one important point. Life is an interaction between the subject and the object. The subject is you, the individual. The rest of the world will be the objects. And in the objects you have external gross items and internal subtle items. Though it is an interaction seemingly first-hand between you, the individual, and the rest of the world, in the actual experiential level, the individual alone is and not the rest. See, when I am seeing all of you, I am seeing you because you are all separate from me. You are separate from my body. But are you separate from me? If I ask, where is that me? It's not the body. So I have to go inside me. When I go inside me, what am I finding? There is a consciousness in me in which all of you are seemingly floating. So in the experiential level and sphere, tell me whether you are separate from me or in me, by me, of me and as me. Is there any doubt? All of you are not nodding. So what shall I say? Are you reluctant? Or are you unintelligent? Where are you experiencing? Within the body. And within the body what is there? Consciousness is there. In the consciousness, all of you are appearing to be so-called images. You look into the mirror. Is any image in the mirror different from the mirror? Huh? How many people say no? See, the mirror has no color. You show a green color. It reflects the green color. When the green color is reflected, can you tell me whether the mirror is becoming green? Red color is reflected. Does it become red? Black color is reflected. Does it become black? Similarly, when my mind becomes all of you, inside me, do I become you? Then what is this? So there is no object at all, any time felt, experienced and perceived besides the perceiving eye. Initially we say it is all impression in the consciousness. But consciousness is not such a thing that it can be impressed. What is the meaning of the word impressed? When X impresses itself on Y, there must be an impact, is it not? So when the black object is reflected by the mirror, is there any black imprint in the mirror? Then how can I call it an impression? Use your intelligence and answer me, my dear souls. All that the mirror has is, it has got a reflecting capacity and there is a reflecting dimension or magnitude in it. It can reflect the sun. And at what distance the sun will be, so much distance the reflection also will be at. So the mirror has got a reflecting capacity. Similarly, the consciousness has got an impressing capacity, imprinting capacity. But none of these imprints has an impact on the consciousness. That is why you are living and outliving everything in life. Living and outliving everything in life. You should know the art and process of outliving any impact from the world. We are spiritual people And we have got the capacity, the potential, the habit, the art and the training ourselves. It all depends upon the individual. How much you can assimilate. Any kind of an input coming from this world, we shall be able to assimilate. Because this assimilation is done not in the body. Suppose you give me 10 kilograms of food. Swamiji, you can assimilate everything. Please fill your stomach. I cannot do it. I am only speaking about the assimilative capacity of the mind. In that mind, where the universe of infinite variety and distances is imprinted. What? The universe of infinite variety and distances is imprinted. What do you think of the power of the mind? The mind is associated with the body, but the body is very limited. But in the mind sphere, without impairing the body, damaging the body, I get an imprint of the whole variety. And none of this variety, are you hearing me? None of this variety is causing any constriction or change in the mind. I see the trees there. Yes, I see. They are imprinted on my mind. Then I look at you. You are imprinted. The trees do not remain in my mind and interfere with the next imprint. सुन रहे हैं क्या? थोड़ा सोचिए ना. I am seeing so many objects. One imprint does not interfere with another imprint. So if I really, my mind has been imprinted physically, so to say, by the trees, then can it further cause the imprint of all of you when I look at you? So what is this mind? It's a wonderful thing. And keeping such a mind, you are mourning, lamenting. What for? The visible world cannot add anything to you at all. And it cannot take anything from you. It cannot cause a scar on your mind. The world can never cause any scar on your mind. See? You understand? The world cannot cause a scar on my mind. It can cause a scar in the body, but not in the mind. Because the mind is not Panchabhutas. The mind is not even space. It is besides and beyond the Panchabhutas. It is so subtle, unlike all other forms of existence, that it is absolutely impenetrable, unaffectable, untainted. This is what it always is. You don't have to make it so, but you have to understand that it is so. So spirituality means understanding the mind. I was explaining it to a middle-aged woman. After listening to me, she said, Swamiji, if this be the case, why should we have any worry at all? No, you should not have. Declare that I am worryless. Gave up. This is what you have to do. That is what Shankara says. Yogarato va, bhogarato va, sangarato va, sangavihina, yasya brahmani ramate chittam. Nandadi nandatyeva yogaratova. Whether you are practicing yogasana or inner yoga practice of meditation, bhogaratova. Just before coming here, they gave me breakfast. I was on the dining table. So that is in a way experiencing the object of the world. After coming here now, I am talking to you about spirituality. Do you think I have delight only now and depression then? Suniye na. I am doing whatever is necessary for life, whatever is part of life. Yogarato va, bhogarato va, Sangaradova. When people come to me and talk to me, I become a lot identified with them. I listen to their grievance and I also contract the grievance. I console them. I can do it only with a sense of identity. Sangaradova. And I am particular that their suffering is removed. Sangavihinaha. One person asked me, Swamiji, you are listening to a number and a variety of sufferings from people. Many people come and express many items before you. Now by listening to them with a lot of identity and feeling, do you get afflicted? I said no. Suppose I get afflicted. Some affliction is there. What is that? He is suffering. His suffering should be removed. That feeling will be there. Even if I have a feeling, what is that? It is the bliss of affliction. What? The bliss of affliction. Just like you have joyful experience, you also have miserable experience. Mahanubhudihi, Sagalanubhudihi. This self is a mighty experience. It is also manifold experience. Don't restrict it. If you expect me to be joyous, you should equally expect me to be non-joyous also. If you feel I should be healthy, you should be prepared for me to be unhealthy also. If I am wakeful, I have to be asleep. If I slept, I have to be wakeful. If I slept, I have to be dreaming. If I dream, I have to wake up. If I become hungry, I have to appease the hunger. You mean to say a self-realized man, his tongue will have no taste at all? Tongue will be blunted, then eyes also will be blunted, nose also will be blunted, ear also will be blunted, skin also will be blunted. It is on the other hand, sarvadvareshu dehesmin prakasha upajayate. All the senses become very sensitive, very powerful, very sharp. Suppose the sabji that is given, even a little salt difference you will be able to sense. What are you saying? Spirituality means attention. Attention. I always tell students, if they take about 1 hour to study and understand a subject or a lesson, if they are getting exposed to spirituality in one way or the other, if they are doing a little of spiritual practices, in whatever manner it is, they will be able to read the same lesson and understand in 40 minutes, if not in 30 minutes. Spirituality is always a plus factor, is always an additional enrichment. It takes away only the negative and bad items from you. It always instills into you good and benevolent items. Yogaradova, Bhogaradova, Sangaradova, Sangavihinaha. So you may have Sangha or you may be Nissanga. What? These are all originally troublesome. But when you become enlightened and you understand your mind is so transparent, what? So subtle. It is so spiritual that nothing will glue to it. The mind can be glued to nothing. When a child is born, do you think your mind is glued to it? Huh? Boliye na. Your mind, I am not speaking about your feelings. Mind as a substance, does it get glued to the child? Huh? The mind may feel a sense of identity with the child. That's only a feeling. Substance-wise, the mind is not glued to anything. Yasya brahmani ramate chittam. If the mind starts reveling in Brahman, Nandadi, Nandadi, Nandatyeva. That is why I say, lift your hands and start dancing. I have got such a mind, impenetrable, unaffected. It can never be tainted. No, it cannot be tainted. Even if you want, it doesn't get tainted. Then what is your problem? No problem. No problem is your problem. No problem at all. Arey, understand it. This is a science of understanding. So he says, Kalam nayethaha sati karma bandhe. If you feel you have a family, 2 or 3 children, grandchildren, etc., and you are tired, when they grow up, they behave in a strange manner, the trustworthiness that you had developed about your children, it is not being honored, etc., etc. Okay, carry on. Passage of time. You can demand from God whatever you want. You can insist upon Him. Never be a meek lover and a submissive person before God. Be very aggressive. My dear God, this is not my world, your world. My body is not my body. Either you resign your position and make me God, or you listen to me and fulfill my requirement. And keep your requirement modest.